This is a heavy hitter.
No, I feel like it's a
okay.
broad question though.
Okay.
How can you create a healthy balance between school, extracurricular activities, and personal time?
Oh, school extracurricular.
Ooh, that's
Go
for it.
Go for it, Cecil.
yeah.
Yeah.
Give it a crack.
I feel like I was not great at this in high school, and I definitely focused a lot more on the school like aspect and sort of studying 24/7, which is, you know, obviously not good. So I don't know if I'm in the best position to answer this, but I think over the past years, like I've definitely gotten a lot better in terms of like balancing like work and my social life and my hobbies. I think we sort of already touched on this a bit in the previous questions, but just like having like a schedule for yourself, like allocating time. So for me, I like to keep a calendar where I slot in like all my different activities, like, you know, work will be from this time to this time, and then like seeing friends will be from this time to this time. So I think that will, you know, help a lot. I think that's the main technique that I have. Did anyone else have any thoughts on this question?
I was gonna say, if you like, it's really great to have a schedule, and sometimes if you don't meet that schedule, that's okay too. That is also a part of balance. Because I feel like, you know, when you write it down, sometimes it feels official and like, okay, I have to like have social time, or I have to do this. It's like, if after work you can't actually balance it, then that is your balance. Like,
yeah, that's true.
That's
Exactly. Got to have that flexibility as well.
I think flexibility is the main thing, and I think like touching on what you mentioned before is, I think for me personally, like finding the balance between all three was like acknowledging the fact that like whenever I took time off of like school stuff, because like same as you, I used to be very like grind school academic mindset, but like I think the main thing for me was like acknowledging the fact that whenever I was taking time off to do stuff for myself that wasn't school related, there would always be that guilt of like, this is 2 hours that you could be studying, this is like time that you could actually be doing that practice test, and it just like eats at you. So it's like even when you're having personal time, it's not really personal time. So I think the biggest thing for me was like acknowledging that and being like, this is a very unhealthy mindset. Like you need to be stopping this when you're having personal time. Like just be present with whatever you're doing with the people that you are around. And I think like a mix of kind of like what you were saying, Cecilia, and what you're saying, Chetna, of like, it's like a strict schedule for me just never works, because I always like, I used to miss my scheduled times and it would stress me out. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I scheduled 2 hours and then I procrastinated and that didn't happen. So I think it's more of like, for me personally, like I'll schedule in like this is when my assignment is due, this is when my assignment is due. When I'm like supposed to be meeting up with friends, and I would like schedule that in, and you can sort of like have a rough idea of what your weeks look like, of like, okay, maybe like this 1 week I went out a bit more, but on like in 2 weeks from now, like a lot of my assignments are due. So being able to sort of like in your head think to yourself, okay, maybe I need to spend a bit more time this 1 week doing school stuff, and then like this other week I'm taking more time for myself to go out with my friends. And obviously with a lot of extracurriculars, it's more of like a routine, like set every week thing. So I feel like having that flexibility to sort of play around and intuitively think to yourself, like, what is best for me, and like what is due, or what do I need to prioritize for this particular week, was really helpful. Because then I could go out with my friends without feeling guilty. I'm like, I'm partying this week and it's fine, because I still have time to do whatever needs to be done later on. So I think understanding yourself and like catching yourself when you get into like really unhealthy habits and mindsets is probably one of the most important things in terms of like balancing everything.
Definitely. And I feel like also like with the extracurriculars, to just like know your limits. You can't sign up to 5-6 committees at the same time. And then there was one point where I signed up to a lot, and it got to the point where I had like meetings after meeting after meeting. Like you don't want to be doing that. No.
Can relate.
Oh.